Hey everyone, we're going to be making some natural henna. So this is actually almost a kilo of henna, but we're only going to be making 100 grams of henna today. That's normally a batch of like 20 to 24 cones, depending on how you fill them. So I like my henna from Rajasthani, India. I feel that it's the darkest stain that I've experienced than other hennas that I've purchased throughout the years. So we're going to follow this classic recipe I have. It's 100 grams of henna, a cup and a quarter or so of lemon juice, about 1.5 tablespoons of sugar, and then half and half of tea tree oil and lavender oil. So we've just regular table sugar, lavender oil. This Now brand is highly recommended. It's definitely safe for skin, so I really love this brand. I purchased mine, I believe, Whole Foods. This is organic lemon juice or natural lemon juice. And that's just a brand from the grocery. This is organic molasses. This is an optional step. You don't have to do it. I live in a very dry atmosphere, so definitely need a little bit of that. So you need a bowl that you don't mind staining. You can see this ring around here. That's the stain from the henna. I've used this bowl since forever. And that ring is at 100 grams. So here I take a scale, and this is how I typically start, because I only need 100 grams of henna. So I weigh the bowl, and I always use grams. I weigh the bowl, and let's see how, yep, there we go. So make sure you're always using grams for this. If you have a weight scale, you don't have to. If you order 100 grams of henna, then you don't even need to use the weight scale. All right, so I believe we're looking for 284 here. Yep, we got it. Because the bowl's around 184. There we go. And that's 100 grams of Rajasthani henna powder. I'm going to use a cup of lemon juice. And just in case we need more, then I'll add more. But for right now, we'll just use a cup. Because I know for sure it's going to need at least 1 cup. We've got 1 tablespoon of table sugar. I always add a little bit more because I live in a very hot climate. And just a pinch of molasses. So the molasses kind of makes your henna a little more stringy, a little more, yeah, I think that's the best term, is stringy. So I kind of like that consistency. Then we're going to take a teaspoon here. And we're going to do 2 of the lavender oil and 2 teaspoons of the tea tree oil. And like I said, this is a classic recipe. I've used it forever, and it always seems really, really great. As long as your ingredients are pretty fresh, it works amazingly. All right, here's the other one. Now, you're definitely going to have patience with this. It is a learning curve, so don't feel bad if you're just starting out and you mess up 1 or 2 batches. It's totally normal. I definitely did the same thing. So I didn't really get the hang of it until I did it a few times. All right, make sure you have a spatula that you don't mind that's going to get stained, and a spoon as well. These are like my designated henna tools. So I'm going to go ahead and mix it so we don't have a splatter all over the kitchen. Mix it here with this spoon. And you can see like that lemon juice and all the liquids, it's definitely grabbing onto the henna, and now it looks kind of thick. It doesn't look smooth, like it's ready to go at all. So I'm going to add a little bit more lemon juice and mix it up. So from here, I'm just using a splash of lemon juice. Very, very little. Because you don't want to mess up your henna. If it's too wet, then it's kind of unusable. So you got to be very careful because you can add more liquid, but you can't take it out. So use very little. So I'm going to mix it up here. And you see how when I lift it, the string, like the string of henna kind of falls apart? That means the henna is a little bit too wet. Let me show you here. See how the henna string won't grab, it just instantly falls apart? That means to me that it's definitely way too wet. So what I'm going to do is mix it again and actually add more henna powder. And it's actually, really ideal that you have extra henna powder. That way you can always fix a batch if you need to. So here we go, we're adding some more henna powder. And same thing, just little by little. It wasn't enough, so I added some more. And this is a-okay. Even though I'm adding more henna powder, and I already put the measured ingredients, it's not gonna do anything to the staining power. It's still gonna be great. So here you're just gonna mix until you get most of the bubbles out. I like to do this prior to. Some artists, they just kind of mix it, let it cure, and then mix it again and make it smooth. But I like to do everything, right at the beginning. So here we go, mixing again. All right, now check out this string right here. It's gonna stay together in one piece. There we go. So when I lift it, it doesn't break apart instantly. It kind of holds for a little bit. And that's what you want. At least with my henna, that's definitely what I want. Some artists like to make it more thick, less smooth, and other artists like it more watery. It just depends on your region of where you live. Because some climates are hotter, some are, there's more, moisture in the air. So it just depends. And it's definitely a learning curve. There we go. So when I lift the spatula, I get a string of it and it doesn't break apart instantly. So what I'm going to do is put all this at the very bottom. Make sure you get every last little bit. We definitely want to save as much henna as we can. And like I said, make sure you have tools that you're okay to stain. I also have an old t-shirt on, so make sure you're okay with, if it goes somewhere, you're all right with it staining. Now, it's not going to stain right now, but after it's cured, definitely. So here I have some clear cling wrap. I'm going to put some over, use my fist, and punch right in the center. Then I'm going to take my index finger and just push the cling wrap up against the henna onto the bowl so that you're trying to create a seal. So try to make it as airtight as possible. Some artists use a lid. I don't like to because I like the sun to touch my henna. That's how we cure it, is outside. So there we go. Just make sure all the cling wrap is on. All right. And if you have a few bubbles in there still, don't worry. They will come out with curing. So here we are walking our henna to the front door. And make sure it is 80 degrees or higher. And the sun is out. And we definitely want the sun to kiss our henna. So here we go. I'm assuming that the concrete is probably the hottest place. So we're going to place this down. I'm sure my neighbors think I'm a weirdo, but that's okay. And then we're just going to let it cure. Alrighty guys, then we're going to go to the next step. Stay tuned for part 2. It will be showing up on my YouTube shortly.